Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with another little package in the mail from the US. Don't buy many things from US sellers because of that horrible global shipping program. In this case we did end up with a reasonable price in the end, although there were a couple of little hiccups. This is caused by, just the usual thing. You start thinking about a system and you do a little casual search, and it was actually triggered by me getting this game for the Atari 2600. And I don't know how I came across this particular item, but I found it for the Atari 8-bits as well. And it's actually Atlantis by Magic for the Atari, as it says, 400, 800, 1200 XL. And I wondered what it was like, and this is actually, as you can see, a sealed copy. Screenshots look, very generic on the back. We're not going to be able to tell the difference, so we obviously need to have a look inside it because I'm going to play it, and I, except in very rare circumstances, don't keep games just sealed, so very carefully we shall remove the seal, much probably to the lament of some people out there. But as I said, I don't buy my games to just sit on the shelf. They are to be played, and I actually quite like the Atari 8-bit computers, so I do have a few titles boxed, but I'm not too concerned about getting them boxed. But like other systems, if I can find the box for a reasonable price, I'll get it. So obviously Atari 8-bit ones aren't in the silver packaging like the 2600 ones. I do have Demon Attack for a Magic with a box, but that one will only work on an original 400 and 800, so it's actually a pain. There's actually a separate release that will work on the new ones. So we have the instruction manual, which feels like it's got some stuff in the middle, which is about to fall out. And then we have cartridge. It looks brand new, never been taken out, so it doesn't look like a resale. It's actually quite a nice solid slip-in tray, which is good. It's probably why the box has stayed so good. And inside we have a Magic catalogue and a registration card. Here's our instruction manual. So as I said, hopefully this release is, it actually mentions the 1200 XL, so it should work on the XLs and not just on the 400, 800s like Demon Attack. And it's a generic catalogue, so it's got like 2600 titles in there. We'll flip through, which are shown in silver packaging. We'll flip through. So here we go. Atari 400 and 800 compatible. We have Demon Attack, and then we go straight to Mattel. So it's actually quite an old catalogue, but it's interesting to see the games. They did quite a lot for the Intellivision as well, and they brought out that storage centre that I've seen on some people's videos. So, and a little thumb club thing that I always like looking at these old brochures. So, very interested to see what this game's like on the Atari 8-bit, so in comparison to the Atari 2600 version. It's a game very like, for people who haven't seen that video, very like, a bit like Missile Command, but it is different. Now, along for the ride is an extra loose cartridge. And it's another Activision title. We've been lucky with the Activision titles lately, and I don't have this one for the Atari 8-bit, so it is River Raid. And they do have quite nice little cartridges, and that rounds out the River Raid collection a little bit more. There's still more systems that I don't have it for, but I do have a few copies now. And it'll be interesting to see, because the Atari 2600 version of River Raid is actually quite good. So, and I do remember, I think I've played this back in the day, so it'll be interesting to see the improvements they made over the 2600 version, as far as additional colour and stuff. So, looking forward to playing that one as well. Alright, let's go give those a go and see what they're like. So here we go with River Raid on the Atari 8-bits. I'm using my Atari XEGS, most convenient one to use. Take this a couple of modes, we'll just go for the default. So game 1, already you can see more detail than the Atari 2600 version. We've got banks, the ships are about the same. More of a rumble. The ships explode. There's a little bit more detail in the score down the bottom, plus we've got mountains and things like that. This is the balloon. Whoops. Yeah, this is not going to be a high score run. Really, we're just seeing how it compares to the other versions of River Raid that I've shown. It's actually quite a nice version. All of the enemy player things are quite colourful. Tanks aren't shooting just yet. Fine. Just trying to donate. It seems quite a lot. The course is quite skinny. Get the jets. Of how fast you go and how much fuel you're using. It does make the canyons quite tight, doesn't it? Yeah, just got to do that. You get bonus points if you kill the tank. Life. Oh, here we go. Now we've got the tanks. At least they always shoot in the same spot. And you usually get a nice, satisfying bass rumble. The sound chip in the Atari 8-bits is actually quite good. Really got to wait and see with those tanks where they're going to shoot. Oh, missed him. Yeah, now we're getting a bit tight. As it's so low on fuel, we need to take this one to the max. How many bridges I should do. I was using too much video, but I really enjoyed this game, and it's very hard to stop playing once you start. Right. I chose the more Spartan way. I'm running out of fuel. Good enough. And we died anyway. Still got 3 lives left, so. probably... Oh, shooting helicopters, I forgot about those. So you're lucky I didn't stop. So I think pretty much you have to say this is probably the best version, I'd say. That's going to make a difference. I've got a fair few versions of River Raid now, so... Cabins are getting nice and thin. That plays really well. I certainly love picking up a copy of this Atari 8-bits. Oops. That was pretty. So bridge 16. Alright, we'll leave it at that, otherwise I'll take up too much of the video with this game. But this is, I think pretty much you can say, the best version of River Raid. It improves on the other ones, just that little bit more. Alright, although saying that, I don't have the Commodore 64 one myself, but I still think this is better. Alright, let's try the next game. Here we go with Atlantis on the Atari 8-bits. I've never played this version. I've only played the Atari 2600 version, which I got a copy of very recently. It's a bit like Missile Command. So I'm at the moment using my central shooting thing, but you can also hold to one side, right, and use the different cannons. If you let them get too low, they cause damage. You have a top shield. Oh, I've lost my middle cannon now. Really got to get your timing right. Like Missile Command, you get... oh, these guys are nasty. Didn't get them at all. I'm running out of bits of my city. Got him. See, if you're lucky enough to... ow! Ooh, I'm running out of bits of city. No, not timing right. It's getting used to the angles. Just missed it. That's it. Oh, I got my middle gun back. Excellent. I believe it's a little faster. Oh, lost my middle cannon again. It's a little faster than the Atari 2600 version. You can also get this on their television as well. Oh, I messed up. I've only got... well, I've got the middle thing back again. Yes, you have to hit one of those and you're right. this is an excellent version. The sounds on the Atari 8-bits is much better than the 2600, which is actually quite limited. Oh. Central cannon. Got it back again. And lost it again. I think I've got my two cannons. And there I go. And my city's destroyed. Well, 42,600 can't be too bad from my first go. Well, really liked that game, so that's an excellent addition to the collection and interesting to see what it's like across the different systems. I'm not sure, I think they're the only 3 systems that came out for it. I'm going to have to check to see whether it was, I mean, Magic did bring out their games for a few systems, but I think those 3 systems were the only ones that got this one. Highly recommended, so I hope you've enjoyed these couple of games for the Atari 8-bit computers, one of my favourite computers other than my beloved MSX machines. Yeah, great to get games for. And you can pick up a system for not too much money. The cartridges are a little expensive, but you can get something like the Atari Max cartridge get downloaded ROMs. There is some tape stuff available and some disc stuff. The cartridges are better, but they are a bit expensive. So anyway, an interesting system and lots of different models to choose from. Alright, thanks to all my subscribers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.